I'm diving into the challenge of confronting my husband's cheating habit and sharing how it completely changed my life. My husband's infidelity was a bombshell that shook me to my core. It wasn't just a one-time mistake. It was a recurring pattern that left me questioning everything about our relationship and myself. I felt like my world was crumbling, and I was powerless to stop it. The discovery was devastating, like a nightmare hoping to wake up soon, leaving me breathless and disoriented. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, and couldn't concentrate on anything. My mind was a jumble of emotions, anger, sadness, and confusion, all swirling together in a toxic mix. I felt like I was drowning in my tears, unable to find a lifeline to cling to. My marriage is 6 years with 3 beautiful kids, 2 boys and a girl. I was working, I did my best as a good wife, I was brought up in a home where marriage was a dream of every young girl. We were nurtured to support and build our home. I followed every instructions my mother gave me on how to keep a happy home diligently. Always submissive, never argued or raise my voice at him even when I know I am clearly right. I earn $85K while hubby earns $120K. Before the end of the month we have already planned what we will buy for the house and how much we will save. We don't follow any particular format or pattern, but all I can say is that we plan well. And that made people think that we have enough money. We live in a room and parlor and our rent is $350K. Our home is peaceful and full of laughter. My husband always comes home early and help out with the kids and other things. At some point along the line he started coming home late and with the excuse that he worked late. And also, for over 8 months hubby has been complaining that they keep cutting his money for one reason or the other, and for that reason we had to make some financial adjustments. Which I never complained. From coming home late, he started taking business trips. Going for business events that take him some days. No time for family anymore and no time for the kids. But I didn't think much about it. Then, one day, while at work, I had a fever and was asked to go home and take medication. On my way home I saw hubby from a distance with a lady. I was excited to see him. I was calling for him but he didn't hear me so I ran after him. As for the lady I thought she was his colleague at work so I wasn't bothered. Just as I was calling and running after them, I saw my husband spank the lady and they were both laughing. With that I had to stop chasing him and watched from a distance. They were acting all lovey-dovey on the street. I didn't know what to think. The fever I was having suddenly left me. I practically dragged myself home and just lay on the bed trying to process what I witnessed. When he came home that day, I was still contemplating on what to do. I didn't even bother to ask him anything. I was in a dilemma. What if it's actually true? I asked myself. Fear gripped me. No way, he can't do that to me. I was in denial but I needed to know where I stand. While he slept at night, I summoned courage. Whatever happens I needed the truth. I tiptoed to his side of the bed where he kept his phone and reached out my hand to get the phone and he moved his body. Immediately my heart nearly jumped out of my body. But he turned and slept back without noticing I was there. I quietly picked the phone and went into the bathroom. I went through his message and WhatsApp and it was clean. Many questions running through my mind. What if you judged him wrongly? What if it wasn't anything? I went to his email, and there it was. My spirit left my body. I saw all his bank transactions. How much he earns now, which he never bothered to tell me or try upgrading our living conditions or savings, rather it was complaint upon complaint. He now earned $200K, and he placed the girl on $50K salary. $50,000 salary for a side chick while I struggle with my kids to feed amongst other life necessities. I saw the bank statement for eateries and hotels they visited and other items he got for the girl. I also found his messages with her. They communicate via email only. From their chat, it's obvious they've been dating for almost a year. Clearly it was when they started dating that he started complaining about salary being short. I sat there quietly. I didn't cry, I didn't shout, I just sat there processing everything. After which, I did a screenshot of everything and sent it to my phone and dropped his phone back quietly. The following morning he woke up and prepared for work and left. I didn't go to work that day because I was on a sick leave. Before he got back, dinner was ready waiting for him in the dining. He walking in and smiled, "Oh Rosie, what did you prepare today? It smells so delicious." I smiled back, but it didn't reach my eyes. He didn't even go to shower, he just sat down and started eating. After eating I cleared the table with a fake smile. When he eventually wanted to get up I called him back and he sat back. I asked him who is Mercy and he pretended not to know what I was talking about. I showed him everything, the chats, the transactions and receipts. At first he tried to deny, but later he admitted it and started to apologize. I asked him why he did that, if I had failed in any way as a wife or a mother. He said no, just that there are too many temptations outside. He keeps apologizing and promised to end the relationship. After like a week I found out they are still together. I didn't even bother to bring it up again. Now, every conversation with my husband felt like a minefield, where one wrong step could trigger another explosion. I was constantly on edge, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Our interactions became stilted and superficial, with an undercurrent of tension that seemed impossible to shake. I started to wonder if I was the problem, not him. As for me, I cannot pray for a cheat, or fight for him. I have left him to continue his escapades. I thought it was only rich people that cheat, but I guess I was wrong. The hardest part was facing the reality that my husband's actions were not just about me or our relationship. They were about his own issues and desires. It was a painful pill to swallow, but I had to accept that his infidelity was not a reflection of my worth. I had to learn to separate his actions from my own identity. I was a virtuous wife, but it ended the day I caught him cheating. As the non-virtuous wife that I am now, who is 33 but looks 25. I kept my ring in the cupboard where it belongs while I go to work. I had men that were flocking around me even with my ring. Now that I don't have any rings on, it is even more, and I have accepted the proposal of 2 Dargwas and in less than 3 months. They are spoiling me silly. For the first time in my life I have a wig of 1.2 m. The money in my personal account is enough to set me up for life. I am using an iPhone latest version and I have a lands in my name. I was also offered a job with a payoff $350K monthly. My fellow women, my life has changed. All thanks to my husband's cheating habits. As I navigated this dark period, I had moments of profound sadness and self-doubt. I questioned my own attractiveness, my intelligence, and my worth. I felt like I was losing myself in the process, like I was disappearing into the shadows of his mistakes. But amidst all the pain, there were glimmers of insight that would eventually change my life. Those insights started to dawn on me when I began to focus on my own healing. I started therapy, poured myself into self-care, and slowly began to rebuild my sense of self. It wasn't easy, but with each step forward, I felt a growing sense of empowerment. I realized that I didn't have to be defined by my husband's actions. I could forge my own path. The turning point came when I realized that I deserved better, not just from my husband, but from myself. I deserved honesty, respect, and love. I deserved to be happy. This realization was both liberating and terrifying, as it forced me to confront the possibility of a life without my husband. In the end, this journey taught me that sometimes, the hardest challenges lead to the greatest growth. I've learned to prioritize my own well-being, to trust myself, and to seek happiness on my own terms. I'm not hiding it, but my husband does not see it because he is busy with his girlfriend. Yes, I still live with my husband and kids, and in his mind I'm an understanding wife. But I'm just waiting for the right time. I can't wait for him to find out. When he eventually does, I'll tell him the temptation outside is too much. He will have just two choices. 1. We both forgive each other, pray for each other, cut off all third parties and marriage continues. 2. We divorce and go our separate ways. And I said to myself, if my marriage ends, I'm never getting married again. Last marriage nah scam. I'm glad I've got 3 kids. There's nothing I'm looking for again. If you're going through something similar, or you went through something similar, I want to hear about it. Share your story in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, comment and share.